Hey everyone, this is Sluggy, and today I wanted to talk a bit about feeling sorry for yourself and why you need to stop doing it. This is something that I've done all too often, so this is something I'm very familiar with. And I understand that it can be a tempting thing to do. If you watched my other video about my experience with bipolar disorder and my ups and downs, you know that when I was 12 is when my symptoms first came on, and I first became depressed. And I became depressed because I was at a new school and I was getting bullied really, really badly. And before that, I had always been like a really outgoing, extroverted, happy-go-lucky, a fun person to be around. And during that year when I was being bullied really badly, I developed a sort of, I wouldn't say social anxiety. I don't really have social anxiety, but I definitely became afraid of people for the first time in my life. And I started subconsciously believing that people are out to get me, people are mean, people are, just bad, and that, a potential danger to myself, and that I need to be careful around people, that I can't be my extroverted, simple, happy, excited, fun person that I used to be. I have to be careful, and I have to be on guard. And, old habits die hard, and I kept thinking like this, and to some extent I still do think like this, for a very long time. And, especially after everything that I've been through, after being homeless, my ups and downs, my attempts at suicide, especially in recent years, I feel like I've become very isolated from people, and I've become very alienated from everybody. And, it's only in the past few weeks that I've realized just how much bullshit I feed myself. I keep telling myself, oh, I'm so different from everybody, and, I've been through so much, and, poor me. I'm so different from everybody. Other people couldn't possibly relate to what I've been through. They couldn't possibly understand. I'm this special person, and that's why I have to be isolated from people and introverted and careful and on guard about who I talk to and who I open myself up to. And it was literally only a few days ago that I kind of started snapping out of it. It was a Friday evening, and instead of going out and doing something, or even like doing a hobby or doing something productive, I was sitting around on my phone, browsing on Facebook, and I started this thinking again. I started thinking, oh, I don't have a lot of friends. It's because I'm so different and so unique, and I've been through these things. And something in my mind at that point just snapped, you know? And I just told myself, okay, I really need to cut it out with this. I really need to stop feeling sorry for myself because, yes, I have this illness, and yes, I've been through a lot, and I probably will continue to go through a lot in the future. But the fact is that I also have some degree of control in my own life and in creating my own life. And that's true for almost everybody. Like, unless you're being held at gunpoint in some kind of horrible situation, chances are that you have some degree of control over your life. And so, yeah, I had that, like, snap moment. And, I texted a friend, and like, the next day I was going out with a friend, and just ever since then, I've been like, if I need something done, I'm gonna do it. If I have free time, I'm gonna call up. I may not have a lot of friends, but I'm gonna call up the friends that I do have, and, I'm gonna make an effort to go out, and I'm gonna get shit done, and I'm not gonna feel sorry for myself. And, the thing is, I'm gonna focus on bipolar disorder because that's what I know the best. But if you're in any kind of like chronic illness or, chronic, just bad situation, chances are that if you do feel sorry for yourself, there's an element of truth to your thinking. Like in my case, when I started thinking negative things about other people, and when I started thinking that I need to be guarded from other people, that was true when I was 12 years old and I was in that situation where I was being bullied. Like, I think the reaction that I had was a completely normal and sane reaction for that situation, for that insane situation. And so, if you have bipolar disorder, anxiety disorder, or you just have some physical chronic illness, or you're in some shitty situation in life that you can't get out of for whatever reason, you know, if you feel sorry for yourself, I'm not going to be here and, you know, like call you names or something and say you're a bad person, because I don't think that's fair. I think that if you have a problem in your life and if you have a bad thing in your life, then it's normal to, you know, react badly to that, to have negative thoughts. So I'm not saying that you need to always have positive thoughts and, you know, just this positive thinking bullshit. But I think we need to draw a line between the past and the present to like immediate future. See, when it comes to the past, I think it's really important for us, for people with like chronic illnesses and that kind of thing. I think it's important for us to be really kind and gentle and sympathetic with ourselves, because, you know, everybody's doing the best that they can with the knowledge and resources and help that they have in their lives. Like in my case, I'm 25 years old and I'm still in university. I'm doing my second degree. I didn't finish my first degree. And so I'm on my second degree, and I'm like, you know, it's usually it takes 4 years, but I'm doing 5 years because I had to do 2 years part-time. And so it would be really easy for myself to beat myself up about that and be like, why haven't I graduated yet? You know, why am I behind? And just be really harsh on myself. And that wouldn't make any sense, because if you've watched my other video about my experiences with bipolar disorder, you know that I've been homeless, you know that I've been suicidal. I've just been through like every level of hell possible, you know. And I'm not saying that in a like boo-hoo me kind of way. I'm just acknowledging that I have been through a lot, and I didn't have the resources or the knowledge or the support that I needed at the time to deal with that, you know, as best as I could. And so I'm not going to beat myself up about my past, and you shouldn't either, because whatever you did, unless you like deliberately sabotaged your own life, chances are that you were doing the best that you could do at the time with what you had. You know, and it's really important to acknowledge that, because if you don't acknowledge that, and if you don't forgive yourself for your past or whatever you did or failed to do in your past, you're going to get stuck in the past. You're going to get stuck thinking, why did I do this? Why didn't I do that? And that's not a healthy place to be in. You know, we don't live in the past, we live in the present. And so I think it's really important to be kind with yourself and to be understanding, and to let your past be what it is and just learn whatever lessons you could have learned. And yeah, so that's kind of one half of it. That's the past half of it. But the other half of it is the present to future. And that's where the possibilities are. You know, that's where we actually have some degree of control. You know, I know that there's a lot of things that people don't have control over. I don't have complete control over my illness. You know, many people with mental or physical illnesses don't. If you're living in poverty, that can be really hard, and that's not something you always have control over. There's a lot of things we don't have control over. But there are also things that we do. And, you know, we have to understand that, like I said, unless you're literally being held at gunpoint, chances are that you have some degree of control in your life, in the present to, like, immediate future. And that's where you need to act, and that's where you need to not feel sorry for yourself, you know, and not keep dragging your past into your present. There are certain things that made sense in the past, like the way that I thought about other people made sense when I was in grade 7 and I was being bullied, because in that situation I really did need to be careful, because, you know, I was like, people were at school were actually out to get me, and, you know, I had reason to be paranoid. But that thinking isn't useful or relevant if I keep dragging it into my present, and I keep thinking, oh, you know, people are bad, they're out to get me, I have to be careful. Or even if I just think I'm so different from other people, and I couldn't possibly relate to anybody else, and that justifies my quasi-hermit life. Because it's not true, it's not relevant to the present. And so I think we need to make that distinction between being sympathetic with ourselves, you know, in our past, and understanding that we did the best that we could have, but also moving forward in the future, and understanding that we are co-creators in our own reality. We're not 100% creators, you know, we don't have control over everything, but we have control over some things. And I think that just being present and being honest with yourself about the present is the best way to do that, you know? Like I said, what's happened in the past has happened. Be gentle, be sympathetic with yourself, but leave it there. Do not drag it into the present, because the more if you do that, you're just never going to grow and you're never going to change. And if you're watching this channel, chances are that you do want to change. So yeah, just stop feeling sorry for yourself. Realize that people have been even worse off than you and have healed in tremendous ways. And just take it one step at a time. Focus on what's happening right now and what's available to you right now. You know, whether it's, let's say you have bipolar disorder and you're trying to get better. Okay, step one, are you going to take medication? Research that. Try medications. See if that works for you. Are you going to use therapy? Research that. Try different therapists. See if that works for you. Are you going to do meditation? Research that. Try different meditation techniques. See if it helps you at all. Are you going to work towards being physically more healthier? Try different diets, and I don't mean fad diets, but try different ways of eating healthy. See what works for you. Do different exercises. See what works for you. And just take it one step at a time. Whatever is, available to you right now, that's what you need to focus on. And feeling sorry for yourself is not only going to stop you from taking advantage of what's available to you and taking advantage of the possibilities that you have, but it's also just an enormous emotional waste of energy. And you're better than that, and you deserve better than that. So stop it.